Hey man, it's me, Kevin Smith. Welcome to the Grow Tent, everybody. You have found the best growing channel on YouTube, man. The place where we simplify the approach for you so everyone can learn how to grow. We make it so simple, even I can understand. So I'm going to listen and learn right now.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Grow Tent. I hope you guys all have been having a fantastic week and weekend. We got a great episode for you today, so you don't want to miss out. Guys, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, watch the full video, all that kind of stuff. It helps out the channel a ton. You guys already know that, though. I want to say, if you haven't checked out our new membership website at WTTGT, link to it is in the video description below. If you guys have not checked out the memberships page, I cannot express how good of a week it is right now to check it out. I mean, I'm not, no innuendo on that at all. Just telling you, maybe you should check out getting a membership right now. All right, that's enough hints. All right, let's get today's episode started. Welcome back, everybody. I'm glad you're all still here. We had a pretty short intro today, so not surprising. But seriously, if you haven't checked out our website, you'd probably do it this week. And get a subscription. Guys, today we had a question come in from a subscriber. Well, not really a subscriber. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess he subscribed to the YouTube channel. Was asking the importance of lollipopping. If like, can I like skip this? Doing this. My plants in the back are kind of hard to get to, and I would rather just not have to crawl back there and do it. Is it really that important? So today we're going to do a little section just on lollipopping, and we're going to talk about why it's important and how often we should do it and stuff like that. And I'll kind of go over the reasoning why we need to lollipop and why it's so important. So one of the things you'll hear me talking about is important weeks during flower, and weeks 2 and weeks 3 of and controlling the stretch is probably the most important weeks of the flower's life. But lollipopping is also one of these things where doing it or not doing it can actually have enormous drastic effects on the yield outcome of your plants. So I mean, you're talking 30 to 40% reductions of your good quality stuff at the top if you're not lollipopping your plants. That's how important it is to do this. So whenever we're looking at lollipopping the plant, all we're talking about is cleaning up the bottom of the plant. If you're looking at a plant from like a side view, you break it into 3 sections: 33%, 33%, 30, just 30, 30, 30. You don't have to get sober. You don't need a tape measure. Just that's top third, middle third, bottom third. And whenever we're lollipopping, all we're doing is cleaning up the stuff that's on the bottom third of the plant. There's not much to this. Don't way overthink it. If it's in the bottom section of the plant, just clean it up. If you got branches that aren't reaching up top of the canopy, clip them off of there. If you got branches that reach the top of the canopy, but it's got growth on the lower part of it, it will. Then you're going to want to clean that up. Just the stuff that's in that lower part. You don't have to clean up the whole branch. All right. So, but it's extremely important to do this, and it's not like something that you got to do every day. You just go in once a week from the end of week 2 through the beginning of week 7. Through week 7, I just go in there one time a week and kind of clean up the bottom of the plants. The first time you do it, it's going to be a lot. After that, I mean, it's going to take you 10 seconds to plant. Just pick off those little bit of new growth that happens, because it'll keep growing back. But you'll just pick off that little bit of new growth that happens, and that's really all there is to it. There isn't a lot of thinking whenever it comes to this. The first time you do it, there's going to be a lot of stuff there. It's probably going to take you a minute per plant. I know, it's crazy. But what you're doing, the purposes of this is, there's only so much energy in this plant to go around. And if you let that bottom growth keep growing, it's going to divert energy and resources away from the top of the plant, which is where all of our good growth is, and it's going to divert some of that energy into the lower growth in the plant. And we call those those energy stealers, energy vampires, whenever they're down there at the bottom, because it's never good bud that's at the bottom of the plant. It's always fluff, just trash. It's just it's nothing that you want. So it's way better to, if you clean the bottom of those plants, the plant doesn't have any place to put that energy to except to shoot it up the rest of the plant and to grow and to really concentrate on the top. So if the energy has nowhere else to go down here, the plant forces it all up to the top. And the amount of, like, I mean, you could literally do this yourself. Lollipop one plant, you have 2 plants in the garden, lollipop one of them all the way through. Don't lollipop the other one and just let it grow. And then tell me what the buds look like on the one on the left versus how much you get on the one on the right. I guarantee you the one on the left that you lollipop is going to be way denser, way more concentrated buds. This is not bro science. This is just factual things. If there's no place for that energy in the plant to go to, it's only going to go one spot, and it's going to go where the buds are. It's going to be at the top of the plant where you want them. But you don't have to do this a lot. As I said, it's just one time a week. Just pick a day. Like the end of week 2 is Monday, you'll say, and you guess you started your plants on flower on a Tuesday. But the end of week 2 is a Monday. So that means every Monday from week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, and week 7, you just go in one time. Just on that day, clean up the bottom of the plant, throw all that stuff away. Another thing you want to do is while you're in there, clean up the plant. Clean up all the stuff out of the top of the soil, because sometimes leaves or whatever will fall down on the top of the soil. That's a recipe. If you got decaying plant material in your soil or in your cocoa or wherever you got it, that is a recipe for attracting bugs. You don't want to leave that dead plant material in the soil, because it starts decomposing, and it is a natural attractant. It's like walking by, you smell like barbecue, and you're like, oh, what is that smell? It's the exact same smell that the bugs get whenever you got dying, decaying leaves. It is super important to keep the top of your soil clean from any kind of plant material, because you're constantly pouring water in there, and it just degrades whatever that is in there faster, and then it gets all ugly. Keep that stuff clean. So don't pick a bunch of stuff and then let it just fall in there and be like, ah, whatever. Clean up your area. Keep it clean. Clean areas, usually bug-free areas, okay? It's usually whenever they get dirty, whenever they get messy, and we kind of slack on getting there, that the bugs usually come in. Another part of his question was, I don't want to get to the back of the tent to have to clean these things. I understand your problem with it, because I'm 6'2", I'm a bigger guy. I don't like crawling into the back of the tents either, which is why you see me tell you never to put your tents tucked up into a corner. I know we want to do that because it gives us the most space in the room. But if you just keep your tents pulled away from the wall about a foot, foot and a half, you can still walk all the way around your tent, and you can get to all your plants really, really easy, which brings me to another point. Don't buy a tent that only has one opening. If you guys were around for the beginning part of the channel, we had one 5x5. It had one door that didn't even open all the way. It was just like one of those hatch doors. So I would have to go over that ledge, under the trellis net, and then crawl back in there to work on those back plants. It was a freaking nightmare. And then, I think it was like 2 or 3 years into us making videos, my Discord, they actually, for Christmas one year, my awesome mods, they got me a gorilla tent. And I still use that 5x5 today. It was way better because that thing opens 180 degrees. I can keep it off the wall. I can walk all the way around it. It's pretty fantastic. But if you have it jammed in a corner, I understand your pain and not wanting to do this, but it is something you still need to do. If you leave those back ones where they're not managed, for one, it's just, they get all dead and the leaves die and stuff because they're not up in the light. And that constantly falls into your soil. It's just a recipe for disaster. I would kind of try to rethink my grow room design, but it actually is that important. Don't overthink it. Just one time a week. And I know those ones in the back kind of suck to get to. It's just one of those things we have to do. Maybe if you're somebody that's like limited on mobility, I've had a few people that have built like a Lazy Susan style like thing in the bottom of their thing, or they had it made for them. And that way they could just rotate the plants around just straight from the front. Got one guy that has that grows in a wheelchair. Well, he's in a wheelchair, but he grows. He's not growing in the wheelchair. But he has like a Lazy Susan thing, and then he's got the poles that come off of it for a scrog net. And he can literally just sit there and spin all the plants around, and he can work on one plant at a time. In his 4x4, he can work on one plant at a time. He just spins it around. I know it's crazy, but I've seen videos of it. It's really, really cool. And it's just literally a big piece of wood with some casters under it, and it can spin all the plants around. It's really neat, and I thought it was really cool. So maybe if you don't want to, you can't get those back plants, or you're limited on mobility, that's maybe something to look into. I can't imagine it would be too hard to create. Just put some like dolly wheels, like like roller chair wheels where they'll spin. Just have somebody bolt some wheels to the bottom of a board, and I imagine you could sit there and spin all those plants around. All right, hope you guys all have a fantastic rest of the week. And I just wanted to say a big shout out to all the people that have joined my new membership page. Man, talk about a good time to do it. I'll see you guys later. GT.